Hey gang, welcome to today's video. Starting a new series, a 10-minute series while I am driving, or you can listen to it while I drive or walk, completely up to you. 10-minute sub basically, just so you can listen to it, hopefully answers any questions you have. So this topic is basically going to be, as you can see in the title, what's the difference basically between blog programming and remote or individualized programming. So yeah, this is basically just a start off the series. I've made it up and it's quite common. Everyone follows an online programming or class programming. So yeah, Misfit, Comp Train, there's a couple other ones out there. They're the two biggest ones. And I'm just going to basically cover a couple of topics or questions people ask. What's the difference between remote or individualized programming compared to these programmings? So those two programs, or online blog programming, is basically basic GPP programming. So it's the next stage up from the class programming. Misfit is Metcon heavy, so there's a lot of Metcons. So you have a warm up, strength or ollie, a Metcon, and then also bitch work. More into this season, I think. I did follow it for a year when I started getting into CrossFit. I went back and forth. I've done like a year of Misfit and then a year of Comp Train, because when I was in the military I was with 2 or 3 other CrossFitters. They were following Comp Train, so I just jumped on board, because again, it's always good to have that intensity in your training and having someone to push you. So I know what both programs entail, what it feels like, etc. So yeah, if you're starting to get into competitive CrossFitting, it is good, because again, it just steps up that next level from a class program into that competitor's level. Comp Train has 2 options, regionals and open, but again, it's quite a very high volume. I followed it a couple of years ago. I thought it was okay. Obviously it gets you fit and strong. Any program will, to a certain extent, but there's a couple of people in my gym following it now. 4 people following it. 2 of them's got injured. One's got injured 3 times in the last 6 months following it. Because it just varies. It seems like they're just chucking programs out there. Especially now, I do individualized programming. I've got a background when it comes to strength training, energy system training, and how it needs to be structured. And every individual is different when it comes to programming. We're all designed different and respond different to different stimuluses, different percentages and reps ranges when it comes to strength work. And then when it comes to these programs, they just chuck up 5x5, 85% and stuff like that. Comp Train lately, I only know this because obviously the people in my gym follow it. I coach there. I also has an individualized program, and I just watch them train, and they write it on the whiteboard, and I just go over, look at the programming, and just see what they're doing. The other day, it was like really heavy and high volume back squats, and also deadlifts as well. One of the guys got injured deadlifting. It was like a couple of deadlifts before that, and then Then a deload week, and after deload week they went back into a heavy deadlift. I think it was like 80%, 85%, 90%. They're doing deadlift waves, and after deload week going straight back into 90% deadlifts when their backs just went. It's not ideal. If you finish a deload week, it's basically an end of a cycle, and then you're going into a next cycle, either accumulation phase, starting to really build back up that volume or that weight, just to give that body and a CNS system enough time to adapt to that training load. But look at these programs, they don't exactly do that or focus on that. I think they just chuck programs out there, and basically the fittest people will go to the top, everyone else will just break and crumble to the bottom. So yeah, that's a bit of a rant on blog programmings. So there's a kind of a structure to it, but again, they just chuck stuff out there, and the fittest will go to the top, and the rest will just fall to the bottom. Going over to individualized programming. Again, I just covered a couple of options there. It's a little bit more structured towards the individual, so yourself, when it comes to energy system training, strength training. If the coach knows what he's doing and he has a background, hopefully you've done your research into that brand and the coach, and obviously it fits what you're looking for, basically. So yeah, with strength training, he should have done tests with you or worked you for a while and hopefully found out what works for you. With me, I do a couple of tests, a 1RM test, and then I do a battery test, basically, just to see what training loads you respond to better. So basically a high or low NME, and then that basically just gives me an idea if you respond better to high volume or low volume rep ranges and percentages, basically. And then the first training session cycle will be based off those numbers, tapering up towards, again, a test week, and then hopefully the results from the first test week would have improved, and you have got better results from that system, basically, if your body responds better to high volume, low volume. Again, or we can just alter that then going into the next training cycle, and we get to play around with different options to see what works best for you. And then once we can know that system, we can then stick to that, and you're basically just going to keep progressing going forward, and you shouldn't hit a brick wall at any time. Again, same with energy systems. We build a solid aerobic base, and then slowly throughout the year build on that. Going into competitions, we start ramping up the intensity, adding in more intervals, so shorter intervals, less rest, etc. going forward. So that's the difference between blog programming and remote programming. Blogs, they just chuck programs out there for you to follow. Individualized, again, is a little more individualized towards you, strength and energy system, and again, skill, gymnastics is built into that to hopefully suit you. So that's just a quick video. Hopefully that helped. Next video, post your comment below, and I'll get a next 10-minute video up for you. Thanks again for watching, and please hit that subscribe button.